Lori, teen librarian from the Glenwood branch, and I'm here today with 5 and 5, where I showcase 5 different books, ideally in 5 minutes. But for today's episode, which features books on the theme of freedom and civil rights, we'll go a little bit longer. And of course, you can check out all of these books using your Howard County Library card. So let's get started. Our first book is Betty Before X by Elisha Shabazz with Renee Watson. In Detroit, 1945, 11-year-old Betty's house doesn't quite feel like home. She believes her mother loves her, but she can't shake the feeling that her mother doesn't want her. Church helps those worries fade, if only for a little while. The singing, the preaching, the speeches from guest activists like Paul Robeson and Thurgood Marshall stir African Americans in her community to stand up for their rights. Betty quickly finds confidence and purpose in volunteering for the Housewives League, which is an organization that supports Black-owned businesses. Soon, the American civil rights icon we now know as Dr. Betty Shabazz is born. The second book is Troublemaker for Justice by Jacqueline Houtman, Walter Nagel, and Michael Long. Bayard Rustin believed that every human being deserves respect and dignity. As a child, he was taught that we all have a duty to stand up to prejudice and discrimination, and that conflict must be resolved through peaceful, nonviolent means. And so, Bayard began to peacefully resist. In high school, he was arrested for sitting in the whites-only section of his hometown movie theater. No matter the consequences, Bayard Rustin grew up to become one of the key figures of the American civil rights movement. He was a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., teaching him the philosophy and the techniques of nonviolent direct action. In 1963, he organized the March on Washington, one of America's most historic protest marches. And yet, he is absent from most history books, in large part because he was openly gay. This biography traces Bayard's lifetime of activism and highlights his fearless commitment to justice and equality for all. On to our third book, which is Nevertheless, We Persisted. This is a powerful collection of essays from actors, activists, athletes, politicians, musicians, writers, and teens, each writing about a time in their youth when they were held back because of their race, gender, or sexual identity. But they persisted. They tell how they rose through the hate, overcoming the obstacles of their childhood to the hard-won lives they live today. The fourth book is Dark Sky Rising by Henry Louis Gates Jr. with Tonya Bolden. This is a story about America and the shaping of its democratic values during the Reconstruction era, one of our country's most pivotal and misunderstood chapters. In this stirring account of the Civil War, emancipation, and the struggle for rights and reunion that followed, one of the premier U.S. scholars delivers a book that is as illuminating as it is timely. Real-life accounts of heroism, grit, betrayal, and bravery drive this book's narrative, spanning America's history from 1861 to 1915 and drawing parallels with today. Topics include the destruction of slavery, the Reconstruction, amendments, and African American resilience in times of racial unrest. Henry Louis Gates Jr. presents a captivating journey through America's turbulent past and at our nation's attempts at renewal. And now for our fifth book, Child of the Dream by Sharon Robinson. In January 1963, Sharon Robinson turned 13, the night before George Wallace declared on national television, "Segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever," in his inauguration for governor of Alabama. That was the start of a year that would become one of the most pivotal years in the history of America. As the daughter of Jackie Robinson, Sharon had incredible access to some of the most important events of the era, including her family hosting several fundraisers for Martin Luther King at their home in Connecticut. Other civil rights heroes of the day calling Jackie Robinson for advice and support, and even attending the March on Washington for Freedom. This memoir follows Sharon as she goes through that incredible year of her life. I also want to highlight just two of the many amazing children's picture books that we have in our collection that deal with freedom and civil rights. These books are gorgeously illustrated and they share powerful stories. This one is about my favorite personal civil rights hero, Fannie Lou Hamer. Voice of Freedom, Fannie Lou Hamer, is by Carol Weatherford and illustrated by Yuka Holmes. This book tells a local Baltimore story that had national impact. A Ride to Remember is by Sharon Langley and Amy Nathan and illustrated by Floyd Cooper. These are just two of the exceptional picture books that will introduce you to stories and people you may not have heard of before. And books like these can be an excellent jumping off point for a deeper dive into the library's collection and our research databases. Use the link below for a list of even more books available at the library on the theme of freedom and civil rights. Thanks for watching. Take care.